New legislation could change the way that you download music. The Conservative government is expected to crack down on file sharing today by tabling a bill that may land file sharers in court facing stiff penalties. And joining me now with his reaction is David Fewer with the University of Ottawa's Canadian Internet Policy and Public Interest Clinic. Good to talk to you.
Good to be here.
What do you expect to see in this new legislation?
Well, we're anticipating that this legislation will follow an American law called the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, or DMCA.
Okay.
That created new rights for the distributors of digital content. These are rights that attach to the digital locks that accompany digital content, not to the content itself. So these new rights will be a little bit different from copyright as we've known it in the past.
So breaking it down in terms of, let's say, music, it benefits more so the people who provide the music through the internet, whether that be what, internet service providers or software holders.
No, mostly you'll see distributors. So the record labels, particularly the record labels and online services that sell these that sell digital music. And
when you say creators, you are obviously talking about the artists themselves.
Yeah, songwriters and artists and performers.
Okay. Okay, so what you just said was this will fall in line with the American legislation. Is that the point? Is that the idea?
Yeah, I think so. When we take a look at who benefits here, who's made happy, who's been calling for laws of this sort, the American trade representative and the big American entertainment industry lobbyists have been very vocal for years now on this front, and they're the primary beneficiaries of this kind of law in Canada.
Have they been lobbying other countries as well? I mean, you know, we share a border with the United States, but on the internet, everybody shares the border with the United States.
Absolutely. It's been a staple of American trade policy for years now to incorporate what we call maximalist intellectual property regimes in all their trade agreements. So to get access to American consumers, you have to trade off heightened IP protection, even if you're in a developing country, which would have an interest in a much more relaxed IP regime.
So, Mr. Fewer, tell me, I mean, for people at home who are watching, who, generally play by the rules and this sort of thing, but now and then, they may download a music file here or there, nothing too crazy. What does this mean for them?
Well, this legislation paves the road for the kind of file-sharing lawsuits that we've seen in the United States. So I think Canadian consumers should be concerned that we're going to see those kinds of consumer-targeted lawsuits appearing in Canada. And I think, that can only be characterized as a bad thing. We'll also see new activities rendered illegal. So things that we've been able to do in Canada for years now, unlocking cell phones for use with another service provider, that will potentially have copyright ramifications now because you're circumventing a digital lock to do that. Similarly,
what you're talking about is the iPhone experience, is that it?
That's exactly right. Yeah. But this would apply to more than just the iPhone. Any of those digital phones that are locked would have implications here. Other activities that we've done for years without any real kind of concern, things like ripping music to your iPods. If the music comes from a protected source, then you won't no longer have the right to do that. Ripping videos to an iPod video. We are expecting some consumer bits to this bill, so we are expecting to see things like time shifting and file transfer rights. But the problem is we're also expecting those rights to be stripped away in the presence of these digital locks.
No, but we know how this works, though. I mean, what you're describing, I take it, is very similar to the legislation that was passed in the United States. I mean, did that have any effect on downloading?
Well, that's the frustrating thing, is that, these laws won't do anything to affect, the problems associated with file sharing. And what's more is I don't see these laws having any effect on creators. We're not going to see any artists getting paid 1 penny more under this law. And that's all the more frustrating because we have seen proposals right here in Canada from the Songwriters Association of Canada and the Canadian Music Creators Coalition for an alternative made-in-Canada approach to these problems that would allow for consumer choice in file sharing and at the same time create a monetization scheme to allow rights holders to get paid. And it's just so frustrating that we're not even, our politicians aren't even debating these approaches.
Very interesting. Thank you very much for this critical look.
My pleasure.